Hello! So recently I was watching one of my favorite movies ever. It's called The Kings of Summer. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. But it got me thinking about a literary question. Why are we so interested in high school? Hello, I'm Timothy Hux, creator of Stranger Danger, where we talk about everything literary. And yes, I refer to movies, TV shows, and even video games as literature. You can fight me in the comments below. So today we're talking about high school and why we dig it so much. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Breakfast Club, First Girl I Love, The Fault in Our Stars, Edge of 17, The Perks of Being a Wallflower, High School Musical, Grease, Harry Potter, Superbad, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Veronica Mars, Hunger Games, The Kings of Summer. And yeah, I know, Harry Potter technically starts school when he's 11, but also they just go to school forever, so sure. And Katniss is 16, but doesn't really have a school. But you get the point. Hollywood and many authors have taken a keen interest in this particular slice of life. Why? Well, high school is often a time where you learn more about how to be a person. You learn about likes and dislikes and what kind of friends you want and how to juggle responsibilities, how to manage expectations of parents, teachers, and other authority figures, etc. Number 2, high school is not for everyone, but for a lot of people, where they learn more about their own sexuality. They might learn whether or not they're into boys or girls, or it doesn't really matter, or they're not interested in sex at all. They might be having their very first sexual experiences, which, if not good, are usually memorable. High school is usually a place to figure out relationships outside of friends and family, to learn and experiment.
Masturbation is fun, I get it. It's not very green to do it with the shower running.
And number 3, high school is often a place where you learn about moral behavior. Because you no longer exist solely in comparison to your friends and family, you have to think more carefully about your choices. Decisions of what is right and what is wrong can serve as the bedrock for someone's character for the rest of their lives. So it makes sense that people with a desire to tell stories gravitate towards high school for compelling ones. The profound lessons about personhood, sexuality, and morality provide fertile ground for moving narratives. But here's the thing. We use these experiences because they're interesting, but we don't always respect the young people that they happen to. Take this article by Ruth Graham in Slate, for instance, called Against YA, in which she argues adults should be ashamed to read and enjoy young adult literature. But I remember when I was a young adult being desperate to earn my way into the adult stacks. I wouldn't have wanted to live in a world where all the adults were camped out in mine. There's a special reward in that feeling of stretching yourself beyond the YA mark, akin to the excitement of graduating out of the kiddie pool and the rest of the padded trappings of childhood. It's the thrill of growing up. To me, this suggests that the author has a distorted view of literature, namely that literature is primarily about graduation. It's an education metaphor where you learn all of the things at one level and then you graduate to the next. But literature is much more like an ever-widening web of knowledge, and that knowledge, unlike many other disciplines, is usually connected to experience, not to intelligence or depth. And saying you've graduated from the concerns of people that young is a sly nod to the fact that you don't really know what those concerns are. Speaking as someone who's worked around kids a lot, I can say that just because you haven't reached a certain age does not mean that your problems are not serious. I've encountered many students across my work with lives much more complicated than mine. We know that all these problems that affect society affect young people because they make up what we call society. And often these problems are more difficult for them to manage because they've not yet developed the apparatuses for managing them. That's what being young means. For me, that's the beauty of YA literature, and it's why adults like it too. It asks a fundamental human question that I believe writers should be constantly asking their audiences. How do you navigate the world when you don't know how to navigate the world? The answer might teach us something. Thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, comment, subscribe, share it, do whatever you gotta do, and I'll be bringing you more real soon. Thanks.